Friday, September 22nd, 1944. Number 75. Dialogue. The chosen one neither rises nor sinks, but walks on the water. The only burden is the task, the freely accepted task. Grace lifts up above the water. The magnitude of the grace is equal to the magnitude of the task, the voluntary, free-willed task. Grace is not kind charity. Grace is not random mercy. Grace is a fact, a response, a crowning of the pure act. It is done. No longer feel oppressed. The burden weighs heavy, but you must sink no more. The one who is just through constraint, the one who acts through constraint, is a slave. Do not be slaves. Breathe only the air of freedom. Cut there where you are still slave. Woe be upon you if you act out of constraint. Existence, if it weighs, existence, if it presses down, is a brand of shame upon your forehead. I must is a curse. I can is deliverance. The chosen one chooses. The chosen can act. The chosen could go, yet remains. The chosen could lie, and yet harvests. The chosen could take, yet gives. Without eyes, the chosen one sees. The lock has fallen away, and spaceless space is free. Light awareness. There is no more whip or reward. The curse has ended, the abyss is gone, there is no more slavery. Here and beyond are not enough. Here and beyond are still slave and master. Only the fourth dimension can fill the abyss. The fourth dimension is matter for spirit and spirit for matter. The seed of light. The fourth dimension is free, one. The new body is weightless. Nothing is injured where its footsteps. Everything blossoms there. The chosen one walks on water. The chosen one is humble, but upon this humble forehead dwells the highest, light. There is no more here and no more beyond when the light appears. To Lily, whose birthday is approaching. This message is for you. Be born, child. It is already possible. The womb constricts you now. Leave it, or it will kill you. Do not tarry. The opening is narrow, but it yields. Be born, child. I would like to be reborn on my birthday. Please help me. The one who helps will not be helped. The strength which now fills you is enough. I will not help you. Come to the world by yourself. Birth is not only a beginning, it is also an end. Between the old existence and the new there is a connecting cord. Tear it apart. Newborn, free yourself. Birth is eternal. Eternal love that acts in every instant. There is no more birthday, for birth is eternal. Birth is neither will, nor desire, nor grace. Birth is free. There you are one with the divine, and there you are yourself. To me. And you. How could I free myself from slavery? Bound by old bonds, the slave struggles, but the bonds fall of their own accord if the good servant and the master are united. Light awareness. Light awareness cuts through the bonds, through the ancient dragon, the slithering serpent with the apple of knowledge in its fangs. Do not eat it. Behead the serpent. Light awareness makes everything possible. Be free. Long silence. The head of the serpent rolls in the dust. The woman clothed in rays of sun gives birth to the child and is lifted up. Rushing streams of water roar below, but the woman is given wings, wings of eagles soaring to the heavens. Night approaches, and I light a candle in the wooden shed. The door is open wide, and we see shooting stars crossing the sky. Dust of the old creation, rainfall of stars. The dragon is striking wildly about, but is unable to reach the new. All of the old is seized, but the new cannot be harmed. Another star crosses the heavens. The old teaching is a star, decayed to dust. The new light joins heaven and earth together. Light, 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 the star shows the way, and the wise pilgrim advances. When the light comes, the pilgrim stands still and finds the newborn. The old teaching constricts. The new light streams over all generations, all peoples, and all negations. When the child is born, it cannot yet use its limbs, but the eternal force it is given teaches everything. Brother, sister of Christ is born. The new Christ is light over all. The host of angels adores the child, adores freely. Brother, sister of Christ is born. The new Christ is light over all. The host of angels adores the child, adores freely. An air raid siren suddenly begins to howl. Sing with us. We act with you. May heaven and earth resound with our praise. Friday, September 29th, 1944. Number 76. Dialogue, Feast of the Archangel Michael. On the lips of the angels swells the song of the host. Who is like the divine? The immense love with which you seek God dies of thirst. You can never reach the divine, for you and the divine are one. The song of angels is praise, is glory, to which creation replies. The human can never find the divine, for human and divine are one. Their union is the miracle. The human being. Beneath is the sea, beneath is the soil. Creation has conceived the human. Above is heaven, above is the light. May the immense love with which you seek God turn inward. When the earth serves, when the host of the angels serves, they unite with you. Your body is the earth. The body of the old serpent has crawled forth. The old serpent's body is the curse brought upon the earth by all of the Adams. But the Christ, the new, will come when the earth and the angel are united in you. You know what needs to be done. There is no escape, for all ways converge at one point. Michael, your scales weigh, your sword cuts, the living finds new life, and what is dead dies. If decision is needed, if cutting is needed, and you are unable, and you dare not, then call, Michael, give strength. Your foot crushes the serpent's head with cold force that you alone can give. For see, what you cut is already dead. Mystery. All angels, seraphs, cherubs, all heavenly forces singing and serving, all come to serve the divine in you. Call, and we come. We are nearly united now. Call. Your word creates. Call the new fire, the cold fire, the light. Always call. If we come, then too can come. The way is one. The host of angels waits behind the black rainbow. The angel is still color, but the one, is light, white light. A mysterious force, flowing, streaming, living, responds to your call. Live with it, for it is half of your life. You and your act are one if you call the leader of the heavenly host, Michael. Michael comes and cuts if your acts do not spring from purity, harmony, love, and truth. Michael cuts not the act, but the untrue doer. May you and your act be one. Michael judges and helps. Call Michael, who always comes, and the vermin will be beneath your heels. May your acts never again spring from shallow currents, but from the deepest depths, the source. The creation and the heavenly hosts expect this of you. Is the Lord of all the hosts. You may never see the divine, for you are one with the divine. The host of angels bows in homage before the plan. Worship of God and religions are but frames that delimit space. The divine plan is spaceless space, matterless, and yet it is all that really is. Chalice, temple, and church are graspable. Only is ungraspable. Is. Everything else is but a frame. Flying is possible only without wings. Everything else is an attempt to equal God, and the fall is inevitable. My wings are incorporeal, and this makes them free. If you are united with me, I carry you, lift you above time and space, until your spirit finds its rest in the one. May peace come over all who are of good will. Long silence. He walked upon the sea, and he is the way. He is the well from which the water of life springs. Drink of it, and you will never thirst again. Behold, this water unites you with him. What you drink is eternal water, fire of the seventh soul. Our lips call him. If we call, he remains in our midst forever. The creation is a frame. The creation is a chalice. Fill it, human being. Blood and bread are no longer enough. Only the light, the coming light, can fill the seven. The black emptiness in the chalice framed by the frame is filled. The light is born. After today's dialogue, I open the calendar and am amazed to discover that September 29th is the traditional feast of the Archangel Michael. I also see that the feast of the guardian angels will soon be celebrated. None of us had ever heard of these feasts before. I now look forward to the feast of the angels with great expectation. In the garden stands a small empty tool shed with no glass in the windows. Because the main factory building is hot and overcrowded, Hanna, Lily, and two of the Jolly Jokers decide to move into the tool shed. The nights are still warm, and we sleep very little. The presence of the angels can almost always be felt. They seem to use every opportunity for teaching. Michael in Hebrew signifies, "Who is like God?" Friday, October 2nd, 1944. Number 77. Dialogue. Feast Day of the Guardian Angels. Is the Lord of the hosts. The host of angels is a scale of frequencies, vibrations. Our lowest note is heavy. When you have reached it, the scale of creation is complete. Matter has 3 sequential levels. The law, the great law, is strict, and it states, everything is contained in the greater. Belief is merely preparation. Cease to believe. The ungraspable is born. The only act, the bond, union through the 4th vibration. If we reach you, then all the multitudes of heaven reach you. Those who surround the throne of God, those who sing and those who serve. Your body contains matter in its 3-fold existence. If your hand moves, then the levels of inert matter, of the cold and growing, and of the warm and moving move as well. This is the explanation. If you call us, your eyes will see heavenly light, for your eyes see. In your ears will resound the heavenly song, for your ears hear. If you merely take up the salt of the earth in your hand, then in truth the salt is not raised up. But if the salt dissolves and circulates in your blood, then in truth the salt is raised to the fore. The taste of the salt is everlasting. It does not disappear as it dissolves. The salt is delivered when it becomes blood. It does not disappear. It enlivens and fulfills. The new blood is the fore, matter dissolved in light, the new light matter. Dissolve yourself. Your small I identity disappears. It becomes dissolving, fulfilling blood. The solution of all. If you dissolve your small I, matter will be delivered in you and through you, and then the Spirit can act. Dissolve yourself, give yourself, thus the salt reaches the divine. Creative instant. The core will be filled with life, and all beings glorify the Creator of the plan. Bring the plan to life, the impossible, the only possible. Heaven and hell vanish, for the light comes. It does not descend, for there is no more hell. It does not ascend, for there is no more heaven. Here the One dwells eternally. Call the human into being. Call the former rebel into existence, and the split, the abyss, and death will disappear in the wonderful plan of creation. The bearer of light, who stems from our midst, the serpent, the rebel, the betrayer, shall also be delivered. Henceforth there shall be no more dwellers in hell. The strength is given to you. There is no escape. You know what is true, and you know your task. Do not attempt to evade it. It is the slithering serpent in you that tries to escape. but in you also lives the free, the possible. And what you call for shall be. No moment of weakness is allowed. The artery of creation would burst, and the new blood would fail to attain its goal. Blind matter could not reach God. Dissolve yourself. In the wake of the black rainbow follows light. Let us call for the light. The host of angels greets you. Call the seven to life. This feast is over. Every feast is a ray descending from eternal life, from the everlasting feast. Joyous anticipation of today's feast aided me greatly in comprehending it. Never had the teaching seemed so clear and luminous as it did today. In Budapest, when we read through our notes after the dialogues, Hanna would often replace some of the words with others that seemed better. She always tried to convey the meaning of the angel's message as clearly as possible. But now the teachings come in rhythmic verse form, and Hanna has only to pronounce them to us. Friday, October 6th, 1944. Number 78. Dialogue. Our teaching reveals mysteries. It is given to you that you may give it on. It is given to you to clothe the teaching in earthly words. Earth is not salt, nor grass, nor the horse, not even the one who thinks. Earth is what clothes light in matter, what transforms, protects, and envelops light. In this way, the teaching of light can be perceived even by eyes that do not yet see. Silence. The divine heart beats in the human body. The divine heart is fire, the divine heart is light. If the human blood attains the light, it is transformed. The first human was Jesus, the Master, the first to master the body. The body was crucified, but it was a free act, a free sacrifice, a triumph over matter and over death. The body is nailed to the cross, and the lance of the blind force pierces the divine heart. From the wound, from the ungraspable heavenly artery, streams the light-bearing blood. Drink, this is my blood, and my body, the bread. The wound has been open ever since. For every bleeding wound cut open by the knife of blind force, every pain, every suffering is in his heart. What our lips now proclaim is the greatest mystery. Heal the wound, the split. It is already possible. Only the human body receives the divine blood. Without the wound, it would not have reached the human. It would not have become drink without the wound. The rupture between the human and him. But if the human and he, the body and the one being light, to have become one, the wound is no longer necessary, for the blood already circulates in one body, heaven and earth united. Until then, the wound torments, but already union is possible. Behold, the wound is no longer needed. May the wound be healed. That is the secret of deliverance. It is no longer necessary to pierce his heart, once his heart and yours are united. Thus inert matter, the grass that grows and the animal that moves all reach light through you. Become one with Jesus, your brother. On the rare occasions when the angels pronounce the name Jesus, it is with such veneration that I become very aware of how we humans have lost all sense of the sacred. Blind force, blind tyranny had to pierce the divine heart, that light might become ours through the water of the blood. But body and blood no longer suffice, for they are but the foundation of becoming human. Heavenly light is given only to those who bring fruit, to those who walk on water, to those who are of the mountain peak, to those whose thirst is never quenched, to those for whom the divine word is salt, creating thirst ever anew. Behold, every tormenting thirst of earthly existence, every earthly pain burns in you on Mount Golgotha. The reply, light, new life, new Easter, new resurrection, light awareness, eternal love, light matter. The teaching is the word. The word will glow when it crosses your lips. May new words be born, simple ones, rooted ones. Yes, yes, no, no. There is no maybe, nothing lukewarm. Words are wings, they uplift and they create. Long silence. Do not love the divine. Love everything. That is love of the divine. Its lack reopens the wound again and again. If your heart is one with the heart of light, then the wound can heal. It is not difficult, believe me. Is it difficult to love one another? No, it is not. It is even easier to love the small, the unredeemed, the persecuted, and the helpless. Believe me, nothing is easier than to love the divine in everything. For you, the free, redeeming act is possible. The first stars appeared in the evening sky. The star guided the wise men from afar. After that star, a sea of stars, a sea of tiny lights appeared. Still the vault of heaven was dark. And then gradually the stars turned pale, for dawn approaches. Every light, every tiny glimmer of light disappears on the heavenly arch. The first still shines, but when the light comes, even the first and the last disappear. The light grows and absorbs each spark of matter. All of the stars disappear in the womb of the holy dawn. We are no longer able to ask questions, and yet we receive answers. The angels read our thoughts and answer us by means of the topics. Since our move to Budapest, the teaching has been transmitted in rhythmical verses which have had such nourishing force that any asking would be utterly superfluous. The verses are short and very dense. The fact that the themes are repeated again and again in variable forms and very patiently indicates to me that we are still far from really living the teaching. Friday, October 13th, 1944. Number 79. Dialogue. The teaching word sounds forth. The four unifies. The surface of the globe undulates, flooded over by the water of the seas. Only the mountain peaks protrude. The island, the peak, is individuality, the indivisible I that has become one. The masses remain submerged. The created world mirrors the creating plan. The primordial seed once dwelled in inert matter, in blind matter. The seed broke through and transformed. The waves of the sea embraced it, and there it remained. The seed lifted itself above the sea, for the path leads further, far beyond the water. Air welcomed it. The ground of air is the I that has become one, individuality. That is not yet the end. It is not enough. For after air comes the new, which has been planned since eternity. The divine force which weaves the plan is acting now. Reach the new level. Without the I that has become one, the air is empty, and the striding foot of the angel seeks the peaks, the islands in vain. The I that has become one is the purest ground, not goal, but foundation. The house on the rock, he is the rock. His foot trod upon the rock and climbed to the peak where heaven opens and matter becomes glory. The unknowing disciple who had never seen matter and light united, oh, miracle, stammered. Here on high let us pitch our tent. Here in the light, on the mountain, he knew not what he was saying. The new dwelling will not be built, the new dwelling descends, if it finds the true rock. The true rock embraced by heaven is the pure, unbroken I that has become one. The rock, too, is only earth. But earth striving upwards, wondrous force, towering high above, gathering and uniting. Its peak extends above the mist, home of eternal joy and serenity. Stand on the mountain, always be at the peak. May each of your acts be high on the mountain, beyond guilt, beyond the mist, beyond the devil. Be above, always above, at the very peak, beyond even grace. For above grace dwells the One. If you are one with the divine, then grace streams down through you. May every movement, every thought, every true act be on the mountain peak. The one who struggles up the mountain might live there. But you are mountain. You do not dwell there. You do not struggle. You are the towering true rock. The one who is true is rock. We dwell high on the mountain peak, in the depth of the heart. The plan is ready, but the act still rests. Silence. The serenity of heaven vibrates. I teach you. The great secret, death, is but vibration. Between birth and death, a veil of mist deceives your eyes. Birth and death are but vibrations. Life is not a gift of charity. Life is eternal. Your eye cannot see through the veil. Rebirth, resurrection, darkness, death, and fall. That is all different, far different from what you believe it to be. From my reading, I am very familiar with the concept of reincarnation in Hinduism, and thus I listen with great interest. If you could raise your eyes above the veil, you would see that there cannot be many lives. Life is one and indivisible. Life is eternal. This is your inheritance. Pass it on. Silence. Beyond the depths of the seas themselves, beyond the peaks of the high mountains, the divine finger traces new plans in the sand. The divine, the one who eternally plans, you, the human, the one who realizes. On the very first day, the sun and moon did not yet appear on the heavens, although the eternal plan had been made. Heaven descends. We are the walls, you the foundation. If you are not at the mountain peak, our feet step into emptiness, and the new home drifts. The only error which your heart can commit is to not unite the seven, to not be at the peak. For then our feet step into emptiness. You have long understood it, but where is your act? You do not lack faith. Your act is lacking. May your act equal your faith. Only thus is balance on the peak possible. The one who stands high in the mountains needs a good sense of balance. Otherwise, our feet step into emptiness. Our being is drifting. Beneath our feet we need the truth and the strength of the rock. My beloved ones, is it so difficult to reach the mountain peak? It is beneath the depths of the seas, and it is far beyond the seas. It is above, high above, in the depths of the heart. Our teaching word now softly departs and fades away, but its truth remains from eternity to eternity. At the conclusion of today's encounter, Hanna traces a simple sketch. All the forces of the earth are connected at the mountain peak. All the forces of heaven are concentrated at the lowest point of the angel, the foot. The mountain peak is the only point where the two can meet and penetrate each other. As a result of this lesson about the I that has become one, or individuality, it becomes clear to me that the teaching of the angels, according to which everyone at the peak of individuality can become the material half of his or her angel, is a deeply personal matter, and could never be a collective movement.